All right, welcome back. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here on the Borders and Borders Hotline. Bob Pompeani, Gene Collier with you tonight. And there is some interesting news about somebody out there who everyone likes to have an opinion about, Le'Veon Bell.
Oh.
So what happened with the Jets today? So they go through an entire draft. They spend nearly $200 million in free agency. The marquee get was Le'Veon Bell. The man who signed him, the general manager, lost his job today. The man who didn't want to sign him, apparently, according to reports in New York, his head coach, who was fired by Miami and brought in by New York and hired by the guy who got fired today, he won a power struggle. But the word is, Gene, that Adam Gase didn't want to pay Le'Veon Bell what they ended up paying him. So we have philosophical differences, and it cost the GM and the head of personnel their jobs as Gase now becomes interim GM. So Le'Veon Bell's already seeing what it's like, how other teams operate, and it's not good.
No, he's already got a GM fired and he hasn't even showed up yet. It's going to be pretty good, pretty interesting once he actually
Sounds like a great Gene Collier column. We're waiting to be written.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be?
I don't know.
Carol and Clinton. Go ahead, Carol.
Hi, I'm on the same bandwagon as everybody else on Chris Archer. I mean, he pitches a terrible first inning, and then he seems to stabilize, and then he gets 2 outs and lets someone have a double, and next thing you know, he's walking the pitcher, and all hell breaks loose again. Don't you have to have some mental fortitude to be a pitcher in this league?
Yeah, and I think he does when he's on his game, but I think in this case he hasn't pitched in a month. I thought his second inning was a good rebound. The first inning, by the way, Carol, if you noticed, he should have gotten out of trouble if not for an error by Colin Moran, who was, in a position to make a good double play, ending double play, Gene, and he kicked it. So that led to 2 more runs, and then, I don't know.
He pitched in some tough luck, but I think Carol's right. I mean, he doesn't seem real confident right now, and really confidence since he's been with the Pirates. That's his main thing. His confidence is better than his pitching. If he loses his confidence, I mean, he could really be in trouble. He really has to turn this around. Today was a really good opportunity for him. He's facing Zach Greinke. It was time for him to really show something, and he did not.
That's true. And quite frankly, people asked earlier in the show about this trade. Right now, it's not in the favor of the Pirates. Right. Although I'm not going to change my original opinion, which was I'm glad they did it. They were in position to strike. If you'll remember, last year Neil Huntington kind of issued a little ultimatum. Hey, if you guys get us in position, I'll do something.
Yeah, no,
and he did 2 good trades,
The trade was electrifying when it happened.
And it happened because Glasnow just wasn't getting it here, and now he's got it there, although he's gotten hurt there. You got to give to get. They thought they were getting something better, and they're not getting it right now. So that's where we are with that. All right, let's go out to Waylon in Washington. Waylon, how are you?
Hi, Bob. Hey, Gene.
Hey, Waylon.
Hey, guys. Hope you're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
the thing is, I know Gene loves golf. I know he appreciates it. But, do you think John Daly – here's my question. Do you think John Daly can make the cut?
No.
And, okay. And that Jets scene is a scene. That's just a mess.
Yep.
Anyhow, catch you later.
All right, catch you. I didn't. Yeah. No, you don't think he can make the cut, do you?
No, but you know better than I do, Bob. As for the Jets thing, I mean, they've spent so much money on really high-profile players, and they drafted pretty much the acknowledged best player in the draft, the defensive lineman from Alabama. They should be riding a little bit of positive momentum, and they turn around and do this. It's so Jets.
It is, and that's the kind of stuff you're dealing with. And with regard to Daly, I'm going to be interested tomorrow with this cart, because if you know how it works on these major championships, Gene, there are grandstands everywhere. There are tents, corporate tents everywhere. There's really no place to take a cart close to the green. So where does he go with it? And he's the only guy who can drive it. He can't get someone to get it for him either. So if he walks to the green and he leaves his cart 50 yards behind, when he's done, he has to go 50 yards back while people are waiting in the fairway. It's going to be a mess. You watch. Maybe.
I'm not watching.
No, you're not. I am. All right, we're going to take a break. I'm back right after this.